Okay, so let's take a look inside the gorgeous planner that I bought to track my 6 months for life transformation. I'm so excited about this planner. I have never used a Plum Paper Planner before. I will leave a link down below. I don't have an affiliate link or any kind of discount code to share with you, I'm sorry to say, but I highly recommend it. So far, I'm really enjoying it, but you could really use any kind of notebook or a bullet journal as well. I'm just a planner person and I like to buy new things because they get me excited about stuff. And I had never tried Plum Paper Planner before, and I spent some good money and got everything that I thought I might use. So I'm going to share that with you today. So before we dive into the actual planner, I also got this sticker book, which is basically just like a photo album. And then I bought a ton of stickers. So I got the home sticker set, and I just have the entire set in here. It's basically 2 repeated pages. So you get 4 pages for the stickers. I can't remember how much they were, but they were just a couple dollars per set. And so I just got all of them because these stickers are made to fit into the planner. And so I wanted to use them as much as possible. So I got the home sticker set. I got the color coding set that has basically the same colors that you'll see on the tabs. And they're like little circles and page flags and things like that. I got the seasonal sticker set for winter, spring, summer, and fall, or autumn. They have the same kind of thing. It's like 4 sticker sheets in each one, and some of them I think are repeated to a degree. So let me pull these out for summer and see if they're repeated. So you've got like mermaids and bathing suits and little workout ones. You've got things that can work as like washi tapes, and don't forget little page flags and things like that. Oh, and it's not actually repeated. So in these, it's 4 separate pages of stickers. So you've got like canoes, or no, that's like surfboards, sunglasses, and little road trip things, actually weekend trip. So here you've got different kinds of washi, like a thermometer, which is very appropriate for Charleston, some little fishing lures and things like that. And the colors are kind of slightly different based on the season. So it looks like the seasonal kits are 4 separate pages, nothing repeated in the stickers. I also got the fitness stickers, and I got the Plum Paper Wellness sticker set. And then I think this was just, I can't remember what this was, but this is just like an extra little sticker set. And then I also got the Memories sticker kit. This is a bigger sticker kit, but it's got every month of the year, and I'll show you how I'm going to use that in just a minute. And they all fit into this little sticker pouch or photo album that I could technically slide into the folio, but I wanted to show you a little bit separately. So this is their folio, and I think it's like a faux leather kind of material. I will say about this, it is super flimsy. So if you really want a cover that has a lot of structure to it, this is not for you. It's just really, really floppy, and the whole thing just flops open and around. Now, I don't mind it because it's mostly just going to be sitting out. But to be honest with you, I bought it because I thought it was pretty, and I thought I would mostly close this up. But I mostly have been, that is driving me crazy, I'm gonna have to pull that out. I mostly have been pulling the whole planner out and just using the planner. So in my opinion, especially if you don't love floppy type things, you probably would be better saving the money and not getting the folio and just getting the planner itself, because it seems to be pretty sturdy. But if you are planning to close this up and take it with you in the car or in your bag, you probably want something to protect the planner. So it's up to you. I got this little notebook that says "Make It Happen" from Plum Paper, but like I said, like you've seen, it's so floppy that when I pull it, and this is so heavy, it just flops everywhere. So I'm probably going to take like a bunch of these off, or I'm just going to take this out. But it's a cute little notebook. And then in here, I just have some little page flags that I'm planning to use. And then I have one of their budgeting notebooks. And I've been using an Erin Condren monthly planner for my budget, but this is so much simpler because it just has your monthly expenses and your weekly expenses. So I think I'm going to be tracking here, because part of my 6 months for life, which you guys will see in my kind of intro post that'll go up hopefully next week or next weekend, I am going to be working on budget and, you know, saving even more money and building the life that we want for the future. And I do already budget, but I feel like there's a lot of places that I can improve. So I am going to try using this, and you can have these say whatever you want. So I put the millions, which is kind of a funny thing. It's like an inside joke between me and my husband, George, because he's always like, how much money did you make? The millions? You know, and it'll be like $50. Yay, close enough, you know, that kind of thing. So just something funny that we do. But the folio itself has a pocket here that you can fit a notebook in if you want. And then it's got two kind of card slot pockets here with a pocket in the back. Then on this side, you have a larger sort of sleeve where you can put your planner through. And I've heard, I haven't actually tried it, but I've heard people say that the Erin Condren planners don't fit in here. So actually, let me try it real quick. If you follow my Heart Breathings channel, you know that Erin Condren is kind of my go-to planner. And I've heard people in reviews say that you can't fit the Erin Condrens in here because it's a little bit too big and it looks to be accurate. So it does not slide in there. The little bit of extra plastic, you could probably technically just take some scissors to that plastic cover and you could make it work, but it doesn't go in easily. I also have found that this color, even though I've barely used this folio, I've had to clean it several times and the stitching is not 100%. Like there's just places where the stitching looks kind of off to me, and there was a place in the back that I had to cut some extra. You can kind of see here, like it's just not perfect quality, which, you know, is fine, but it's like a $50 item, so I would have expected it to be higher quality. And like I said, I've already had to clean it several times and I've barely used it. So I'm not a huge fan of the folio, but it is beautiful. So the color is nice and they come in multiple colors. Then there's this little pocket back here that you could put sticky notes or, you know, whatever else in. But I'm going to move the folio to the side. The closure also is this kind of envelope closure, which I really don't mind too much. It's really easy, but I do prefer snap closures when I can get them. But this is really the star of the show and I love it. So this is the Plum Paper Planner. Unlike Erin Condren, where you do have a choice of getting like rose gold or black or gold coil, Plum Paper, you just get the silver coil, but it seems to be equally as good quality. And so I have no problems with it. It's a nice big coil and this is a year planner, but I added some things to it. So if you've never used Plum Paper Planner before, one of the coolest things about it, and the reason that I decided to use it this time around, is because it is extremely customizable. You can change your headings, you can add extra sections, you can add extra pages, and they will send it to you that way. The layout that I decided to get is called the Me layout, so I'll show you that as we go. So this is the cover. Just like most planner companies, they do have lots of covers to choose from, and it comes with a plastic over cover, sort of protective cover, and then the actual cover itself is kind of this like coated plastic that won't tear, but it also might get a little dirtier, so they put this over as a protective layer. So it's kind of like a little double cover, and it doesn't come out. So like the Erin Condren covers, it's not interchangeable, but I think Plum Paper does sell some interchangeable covers. So I haven't filled out this belongs to because I always feel like my handwriting isn't good enough to go in here, but I will probably do something cute on this first page. The next page is the calendar for the year 2021, and it just follows you from all the way from January to December. And then they also have 2022 in here because this is a mid-year planner that started in June. That's another thing to keep in mind about Plum Paper that's different from a lot of other planners like Erin Condren, is you can choose your start date. So if you wanted to order one today and you knew it wouldn't get here till the end of July, you could just have it starting in August and going until July of next year, rather than like mine started in June. And I kind of wish, I was not expecting that I would spend most of June trying to finish my book, Vengeful Darkness. I thought it would be done by the beginning of June, and then I would spend all of June like setting things up and getting ready for the 6 Months for Life program. However, I was so busy through the month of June, I hardly used my planner. So now I wish I had started it in July, but lesson learned. After the calendar, there are two kind of special dates where you have 12 boxes. On this one, it says special dates, and it has the same colors as the tabs, and it goes from January to December. So I don't know exactly yet what I'm gonna use this for. In a lot of planners, I don't even tend to use these early pages. I just use the planner pages. But this, I'm thinking there's got to be a really good way to use it. Probably either a little photo or like my favorite memories from the month I will put in here. I could also just put birthdays in here or things to remember, vacations, just like major milestones. And then this one says ideas, plans, and goals. And it's the same colors, but it just doesn't have anything in the boxes. So, you know, I could at the beginning of every month go through and do the same thing, or I could put the different areas. And that's how I'm thinking I'm going to use this. So in the layout part, I'll show you in just a minute how I have chosen these 6 different categories. So I'm thinking I could use this page to put those 6 different categories and put my goals for the first quarter, and then put my goals for the next quarter over here. Even though it's a yearly calendar, I'm trying to really focus on the next 6 months, or I'll do 2 6-month journeys and see kind of how far I get. But I figure I might use this for actually writing down where I hope to be in the next 6 months. Then we get into some things that I've added to the planner. So I am going to be, as part of my 6-month for life journey, doing a weight loss food plan for Bright Line Eating. I will cover this in some of the upcoming vlogs, so I won't go into it here for people that are just here for the plum paper flip through. But basically, Bright Line Eating is a way of eating that is really good for people who are addicted to food. It's kind of like similar to a 12-step program for food addiction in a way. And so you cut out all sugar and flour, you weigh your food, and there's no snacking. So it's just 3 meals a day. And there's very specific things that you eat each part, like each meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it has been a couple of years since I have eaten this way, even though most of it is still kind of automatic. So I wanted to put the official Bright Line Eating like meal plan and what's acceptable and how much everything weighs and what you're allowed to get into my planner. And so what I found very happily is that the little Erin Condren coil clip connectors also work in the Plum Paper Planner. So the coil is enough the same that I can also fit it in here. So all I had to do was print out this that came from the Bright Line Eating Bootcamp course that I took. I printed it at 82%, I think, which is similar to what you would do for a happy plan or whatever, because it's 7x9. And then I cut it out, laminated it, and then I put this coil clip connector on it so that I could put these 2 pages into my planner. And I think that worked out great. And then I can move them around to the weeks or move them back to the meal plan if I want. Then back to the regular part of the planner. Like I said, I started in June, and what happens in this planner is the first, like the other side of the tab. And again, I'll just sort of briefly mention that these tabs are just kind of like slightly coated cardstock. So they're not super sturdy, but this tab part is kind of like laminated. But you've got 3 spots for goals. You've got birthdays, events, and things to remember, and then just kind of some blank parts at the bottom. So for the month of July, I've put my 3 main goals not for my business. I have a lot of goals that I set for my business and my career, but I'm not including that in this section. This is more for just this 6 months for life project that I'm doing. So getting back on Bright Line Eating and losing 5 pounds, that's my goal for July. Beginning my vlogs, also this flip through is part of it. And I want to declutter my kitchen and my office because those are kind of the 2 places where I'm having the most trouble with having too much stuff. Then my husband's birthday is coming up, and then the big events are Camp NaNoWriMo, Don't Break the Chain, which are writing stuff, and then we've got a Folly Beach vacation coming up. Things to remember, I think I'll fill that out afterward, but that kind of gives you an idea. Then there is just a blank notes page at the beginning of the planner before you get to the monthly spread. So the way that I'm planning to use this is the June one, I just sat down and wrote out a list of where I want to be and why I'm doing this project. So 6 months for life, when I think about where I want to be in 6 months, I picture such and such. My health is going to be this way. These are my goals. And then I used some of those little stickers that I had gotten from Plum Paper to put in here. And then in future months, I'm going to use this little section, which I haven't filled out July yet, so I'll probably do that this afternoon. I'm going to use this to say what I hope will happen over the course of this month and how I'm feeling at the beginning of the month. So ideally filling it out towards the beginning of the month and saying things like, I'm so proud of myself for getting started. This is what I'm hoping to achieve this month. This is what I'm excited about. Kind of like a little pep talk letter to myself on that first page. Then you've got the monthly spread, and I will show you in July how I'm using this. So let's flip over. This is kind of, I think this planner will be a work in progress because I've never done this level of project or had this type of planner before. So I'm kind of playing around. So I have some of my favorite things are these Zig clean color dot markers. I will leave a link to these down below. You can get them on Amazon or Jet Pens. They're kind of pricey, to be honest. And you could really just do this with a Crayola Super Tip marker or a Sharpie pen or something else if you wanted to. But I love these because they have this little dot and you can just go boop and you've got a little dot that's the perfect size. So I have grabbed these 4 colors for myself, and I have decided that on the monthly spread I'm just going to have this overview of these 4 things: my weight, how much water I drank, my steps for the day, and how much sleep I got. So I am tracking my sleep and my steps with this Let's Fit band. So this is something I got off of Amazon, and it was maybe 30 bucks. It looks more expensive than it is, and it tracks to an app on my phone, and it allows me to track my steps and my sleep. Then I'm tracking my water through the Hydrate Spark app because I have that water bottle that kind of auto calculates your water. So I'm tracking that. Even though I will drink other things throughout the day, I'll just add it in manually. And then my weight, I'm tracking on a scale that we have upstairs. So, for example, this morning I went to 199.6. So already moving down a little bit, which always happens at the very beginning of any weight loss journey. The key is just sticking to it. So 199.6. And then what I'll do is every morning I'll go back and look at what yesterday's stats were and put them in the morning. I just didn't have time to do it this morning. So hopefully by the end of the month, it'll just be those 4 dots on every day and I can see my journey. If I don't like the way that looks in the end, then I'll trade it out for something else. I know a lot of people will use their monthly spreads for like doodles or family memories or, you know, different things like that. So you could play around with it. But for now, this is kind of where I think I'm going to be so that I can track those metrics every single day. Then what you have after the monthly spread is you get into the weekly spreads. So the weekly spreads for Plum Paper, they have like a dozen or more different types of spreads. So you just really need to look through their website and figure out what you want. What I decided to get was what they call the Me layout, which means that they have the 7 days across the top. So you have 7 columns, and then you have 6 columns going from side to side. And you can change these columns and put in your own custom words. So probably the green is not the best choice because that's not going to show up maybe as well on camera, but we'll just move to the June over here. So just to show you what mine were, I'm going to stand up so I can make sure this is showing up on the camera. So Soul Fuel is, for me, that is like things that really fill the well, that make me feel good. So this will be like meditation or stretching, time outside, time reading and just enjoying myself, time playing games with the family, time with the kids, laughter, like funny things that got said throughout the day, just kind of soul fuel. But a lot of, I really feel like, so I've got one called Joyful also. And this, like I said, might kind of change or grow or evolve as the 6 months or the year goes on with this planner. But I intend for the soul fuel things to be more things that are personal to me, like my private reading time, my private meditation time, my time with my tarot cards, or like my witchy rituals. Like if it's a full moon, then I could write down that I did a full moon ritual. And this is just soul fuel, is more personal things. The second one on the list is movement, and that kind of speaks for itself. This is where I'm going to track what exercise or walks I went on. Then glow up is all the other things that have to do with confidence and appearance. So if you're doing 6 months for life and you don't want to focus on appearance or weight loss, then you don't have to. You can totally choose to focus on anything you want. But for me, I want to focus also on losing this baby weight. And that's no judgment on anyone else, but it's just something that I want to do. to get back into my old jeans and different things like that. But I also have other things related to my PCOS that I include in this glow up besides just weight loss. One being laser hair removal. I had it done before I had my son, but then with the PCOS and the hormones out of whack from 2 pregnancies, it's all come back. So I want to get laser hair removal. I have some things with my teeth, like a bottom crooked teeth, that I'd like to get fixed. I also really want to go shopping for some new clothes because I've been wearing black leggings all through COVID, and I'm just so ready to have like some cute shorts or some cute dresses. So that all is going to go under glow up. Like any new jewelry I buy or anything like that. Like I just, for this next 6 months, I got this beautiful dragonfly handmade ring that says believe, which is one of my favorite sayings here. And then it's got a little citrine on it with the dragonfly. And so I got that. So I would maybe mark that in here under glow up, like something that I bought that's appearance related that I loved. Joyful, which I spelled it specifically this way, joy-full, is for really anything. Those are the other things that I was kind of talking about up here at the beginning, but it's where this is, soul fuel is for me. Joyful is things that haven't happened in our family. So like laughter, time with the kids, time at the beach together, anything like my husband and I gaming together when we're laughing or having a good time or creating new characters. This is just going to be an invitation to bring more joy into my life. And this could also be something with my writing. Like if I hit #1 on an Amazon category, I could put that into joyful and just remembering things that to be grateful for. So joyful will be a little bit more of a gratitude spot. Happy home is for decluttering. So I'll talk about this more on the journey, but we were originally supposed to be moving into a brand new house that we've been building for a year in the end of August. And the builder has canceled our contract. So I won't go into it here. It's just one of those sad things that's happening all across the country due to COVID, increased prices and stuff like that. So we aren't sure if we're going to be able to move. Once they decide what the new price will be, they'll give us 72 hours to decide if we still want to buy the house. And right now we have no idea what that price is going to be. So we don't know if we can still afford the house that we designed. So for now, I'm choosing to not be too upset about it and just focus on let's get the house ready and expect that it's going to happen. So we're going to be decluttering the house, cleaning things up. I'm going to be getting rid of things. I'm going to be purchasing new furniture, all kinds of new stuff when we move. So hopefully that'll all be happening in this 6 month. And then the final section here is called energy. And energy is really all about what are the things that are increasing my energy and what are the energy vampires in my life. So if I had a bad phone call or I happened to check emails and it really lowered my energy, I could remind myself here, like, don't check emails before you get your writing done for the day. Or if it's something that really increased my energy, like, wow, I got my writing done first thing in the morning and it made me feel so much better. Or, oh my gosh, I found this new combination of foods that really made me feel good. Or I'm starting to exercise more and or movement and it's really affecting my energy, which is making me more productive. So that'll be kind of notes about those sort of things. The other thing that you can track or change and customize is this little section and this little section. I think it automatically comes with like to do and I don't know, something else down here. I changed it to priorities and wisdom. So I'll show you here in the first July week. My priorities are the kind of to-do list items related to my 6-month project that I wanted to get done for the week. And then wisdom is a quote or inspirational saying that's really speaking to me right now. There is magic in new beginnings. Now you'll notice this does come, by the way, with a little bookmark. If you are an Erin Condren user, this bookmark is like their old bookmarks. So it's just pure like plastic. And I have a feeling all my old Erin Condren ones, the teeth always broke on them. So I have a feeling that will happen with this one too, but we're going to cross our fingers. So it is currently, as I'm recording this, Saturday, and I have not added anything to this yet. So I think I need to get better about my routine of when I'm going to fill this in, which I think is just going to be in the morning every day for the day before. I can show you just a little bit of how I was hoping to be able to use it. So here I have like little things of what each of these sections mean, like energy. I have daily energy, what drains versus what increases it, what's going on with my cycle, my mood, my feelings, and things like that. But here I was testing some pens, and you can see I was even testing some of this Versa Magic ink with some of my stamps. whoops, there goes a stamp, to see if I could use stamps in here because it's so small. A lot of my stickers are not going to fit. This little box is super tiny, so a lot of my stickers will just be too big for the space, but I have a ton of these tiny little stamps and I almost never use them because I bought them and then just it became too cumbersome to use them, but I have so many and they're so cute. And so I've started thinking like maybe this will be a good planner to use with my stamps, but I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't bleed through. Look how great this looks. Like this is just an accident with me. That's not, like none of these pens bled through. And this is mild liner, Tombows, Le Pens, like brush pens, Pilot Precise V5s, the Click Art, the EC Dual Tip. This is a stamp, this is a stamp, and none of it even ghosted through. So I'm super impressed because this paper feels pretty thin. It's very smooth, but it doesn't feel super thick, but it takes the ink of everything I've used so far really beautifully. So yeah, I think that I am gonna try to use some stamps, but I think, so you can see this is just a small sampling. I have a lot of these little ones like the little glasses, the pen, there's like a grocery cart, and even smaller, like I used a little camera here. I have an even smaller camera. So I've got lots of those little ones. I've got some here as well, like a little house and a key, a little driving sign and money sign. I've got these that have little flags and a little ink and inkwell. And then I've got some that are bigger. So like these with the coffee cup, I could still fit that on there, but it is going to be a little bit. But like a mani-pedi, if I go get something like that, there are a few little corner ones. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my stamp collection and I'm going to decide which stamps I'm going to use so that I'm not constantly trying to pull off of like this many sheets, because I think that's going to become where I just don't use them at all because I've got too many. This is like literally just a small bit of the ones that I've collected over the years, and I hate that I don't use them. So I also have some like this little like movie clapper and this little @ sign. It's not here. So I need to go in search of where all my stamps are. And then I think I'm going to pick the ones that I most want to use and put them on one big block so that I can just keep them here with my planner and only use like a rotation of like 5 or 6 instead of trying to use so many. But I could see this little dumbbell or the little house. I think I will use those. So that's kind of my plan. If you decide to use stamps in your planner, I highly recommend this Versa Magic because it doesn't bleed through. I got this to use in my Hoponichi several years ago, and you can get a set at like Michael's or Amazon for, you know, they're a little bit expensive, but they're not terrible and they last for years and years. And so I'm planning to use those here. So my goal is, as I move through the months, I'll put these stats, and then on the weeks, I'll have a few stickers here and there. Obviously, I want to use these stickers that I bought. I'm also going to be using a fine tip pen, probably not this one. I probably will use this Energel Klena pen. This is a 0.4. The 0.3 is maybe a little bit too small for my taste, but this is a pretty nice pen and it writes really small, so it will work well in this planner. So this is probably going to be the main pen, but I also do have all of the newer Erin Condren fine tip felt pens, and those also will write well in here and they don't bleed through. So I'm probably going to use color here and there in this planner as well. Here you can see a little bit of discoloring because my 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old, was putting mac and cheese on it. So that's just going to be part of the planner life for me, is having some of her stuff on here. So I will say overall, I really, really wish you know, they've got these bright, bold colors, but I really wish that all of this was in black and they would just leave the color to like the name or, you know, the month and the year or the dates and just put everything else in black, because I do not like that everything here is green. So for that reason, I probably am going to use mostly black ink in this planner so that it kind of balances out all that green that's on the page. Because man, if you don't like one of the colors, like I'm not a huge fan of orange, so if you get to orange, you've got a whole month of like a color you don't like. But you know, it's a trade-off because you get great paper and you get all these customized boxes. Another thing that I did at the end of each month is I added dot grid pages. So these are 2 full dot grid pages that I have printed these off that I bought from Etsy, and I have put here in the planner. So I just went ahead and glued them down. So this one, again, is a weight loss tracker, and I'm hoping to keep track here as well of kind of the progress of the weight loss. So I lost 1.1 pounds. And then I think probably over here I'll put like what my total loss is for the month so far. Then I have a measurement tracker, which will go throughout the 6 months. I haven't done my measurements yet, so I need to do them and change that date. And then over here is another weight loss tracker, but it's just a different one. So I'm gonna be coloring these in as I go and giving myself some rewards. I just haven't quite chosen those rewards. I also have a habit tracker here, and like I said, I haven't filled it out for today or for yesterday, because I want to do that in the morning and I just didn't get time. This I got, I'll see if I can link it, but this one I got for free. I just searched for free printable habit tracker for a bullet journal, and this came up from someone's blog. So I just added the Bright Line Eating, and I'm going to be just tracking these things for Bright Line Eating throughout the month. The other thing I added, like I said, you can add all kinds of stuff. You could add blog pages or editorial calendars. You could add a budgeting page at the end of each month. There's a limit to how many pages you can add. So it was kind of hard to decide which things to keep and which to throw out. But anyway, I decided to add a habit tracker here. So it's got all these, it's got 4 weeks on the front and then a week on the back. And then it has some reflection with a place to mark next month's goal. So I decided to start tracking on Wednesday, which was the 1st. And so like yesterday, we took a walk, so that's exercise. I did some cleaning and decluttering in my office. We had family movie time, and I ate Brightline, and I got some writing done. So I got all my checks yesterday. You could do check marks, you could fill these in, you could circle them, however you want to do it. But I will be tracking that. And I didn't write in the habits for the rest of the weeks because I'm still going to get kind of a feel as I'm going for what I want to track. So that is the monthly spreads for me. And that's what I got. So this was all standard, the monthly spreads. This was the me layout with my own choices of what I want to put on there. And then behind it, I put 1, 2 dot grid pages. They have lined pages and other things too. And then 1 habit tracker page. But then at the back of the planner, so it goes all the way through, remember mine started in June, so it goes all the way through to May. I added 2 more sections into the back. So I added a meal planning section. That automatically comes with some of these things about like, here are the proteins and a list of this and that. And I actually probably should move those Brightline Eating pages to the back here. And then there's a place to put your favorite recipes. And I actually need to fill this out because with Brightline Eating, for me, my greatest success has come from eating basically the same rotation of things on a daily basis. So like in our family, every Monday is broccoli and sausage. Every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday without the shell. And it becomes just a habit. Now I know not everybody can eat that way. It would drive some people absolutely nuts. But for me, it's the automaticity of it, I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to make any decisions. It's already made for me. And that makes my whole life easier. And my family doesn't mind eating the same things over and over. So I'm going to write our favorites down here. It has some guidelines and conversions, some substitutions if you need to use that. I wish I could have just not had those pages in and used just blank note pages, but if I don't like them, I can always do what I did with that one page and just print something else out and put it here. So it's fine. Then you have the actual meal planning, and it does have a full 52 weeks of meal planning in here. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and it has all 7 days here. Like I said, these are small, so there's barely enough room here to really write down. You couldn't write down your recipes here. You would have to just write down what you're having, like the overall plan. So it just depends how much space you need. But again, I'm planning to use these same 3 colors of the dots to go breakfast, lunch, dinner, and keep track of what we're planning to eat. Here is our basic, when we were trying to figure out what our rotation is going to be, this is what it was. So I've got to mark in what I ate yesterday and today so far. I think this is going to be the biggest challenge, is just keeping up with the planner. And typically the only thing I need to be successful with that is to decide when am I updating it and then put it into my routine. So for me, it's going to be first thing when I wake up, as I'm eating breakfast, I'll fill this in and it'll be done every day. There's also a section here for shopping lists. If you have things that you want to add each week, the shopping list is in there, and then the 4 weeks. So each little spread here is the 4 shopping lists and the 4 weeks. So you could have one for each week and then mark your meal plans down. So I've got that here. Then at the very back of the meal planning section, it also has a grocery budget type thing. So it has a list of stores you like to shop at. It has a list of your favorite restaurants and favorite things you order. And then it has an annual grocery spending tracker, which I think is going to be super helpful for my family because we've been eating out so much during COVID. No judgment, please. So I'm hoping that this will help keep on track of how much we're spending, and hopefully it'll prove that we're saving money by staying at home and eating healthy rather than ordering Uber Eats or whatever. The second section and final section that I got added was this memories section, and I love this color, by the way. This memories section is awesome, and it's 15 full pages, so you have to really want it, but I'm excited about it because it says, because every picture tells a story. And then it has, now this sticker I added, but it has basically like a scrapbook layout for you, and there's a spread in here for every single month of the year. So because we started this planner in June, I have already used some of those stickers, so that's why I got this sticker planner memories sticker kit from the planner company, because it's got a set of stickers for each month. So I can use those stickers, and then they tell you the dimensions of the photos that you need. So all I have to do is pick out 6 photos that I liked. I can print them on my home printer or send them out to like Walgreens or Walmart to have them printed. And then I can just glue them down. So it's kind of like done for you memories, but I figured this would be really good too. And the layout changes slightly every month, just a little bit. So, but there's always, I think, 6 photos that you can put in. And I think that'll be something that when I'm looking back at this planner and I'm, feeling much healthier, I've got more energy, my family is happier, we're decluttered and moved into our new house, it'll be such a joy to look back at these memories and say, wow, that was our old house, or wow, look at how cluttered my office was and how much, I'll be able to see the progression of how far I came. Plus, I'll be able to have some cute photos of my family and my kids in here at the same time. So that's the end of the planner. And I really struggled with adding it because it's 15 full spreads of pages, and it was like, oh man, I could add like 15 extra notes pages or something in here. And then I decided, you know what, I have 1,000 notebooks. Like I want a place to keep track of memories. So that's what I decided to do. Then it said this year in 3 words. So you write 3 words, and then you can write basically your story of the year and how it went. Then I did add a few little, whatever I had left, I added in dot grid pages in the back. And then there's a contacts page, website passwords page, and then a calendar for 2023, as well as a little folder. And then I also added, this is something else I added, was these little page protectors in the back. And the reason that I added these, I think this was an extra cost, like maybe $2 or something per one, because I figure if I want, for example, to keep my stamps in my planner, I can slide them in the back there, or other stickers that I want to keep, or any other photos, or maybe I'll print out the photos, but I won't be ready to put them in the planner yet, so I can keep them into this little pack here, the little cover. So then the back cover is just that same kind of coated plastic with an extra piece of clear plastic on the back. And that is a very long and detailed look at my Plum Paper Planner that I'm going to be using for the 6 Months for Life program. So I keep saying program, but really it's not a program. This is not something that I've done like intending to teach people or do with other people. But the cool thing is that when I mentioned it, so many of you were like, I want to do this too, because I know that we all feel the value of time is slipping by and we're not getting any younger. But also, especially after COVID, it feels like we are just in a time, I think a lot of us, where we're ready to start becoming our best selves and really living the life that we know we want to live. And that's what this is all about. So Thank you for watching the Plum Paper Planner flip through. But if you're interested in joining me on this 6 months journey that will affect and really move you in a direction of joy for the rest of your life, hopefully, then there's no official way to join. It's not a program or anything like that, but just hang out, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. We do book readings and stuff here because I'm an author, but there are also going to be vlogs mixed in where I'm going to be talking about how my progress is going with the 6 month for life project. I'm also going to be posting images and stories over on Instagram if you want to check that out. But my first official vlog will be going up soon. So I hope that you'll check it out. If you're watching this on July 4th or somewhere nearby it, then I hope that you had a happy holiday with your family if you're here in the US. And for everybody else, I just want you to know I love you. I believe in you. Let's do this together. We truly have the power to change our own lives and put ourselves on a path towards success. So let's do it. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this look. I will post a link to all of these different planner accessories down below, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.